Hi folks, welcome to Jimbo's Kitchen. My name is Jimbo Snyder and I'm a 40-year veteran of the restaurant business. Been doing restaurants for 40 years as a manager, and all these videos are basically know how to operate a kitchen the way we do the restaurant. This part is about sanitation. We don't talk about sanitation a lot. Especially in a restaurant business, that's one of the most important jobs a manager has, is to keep his restaurant clean and sanitized so nobody will get sick. So household sanitation is not all that hard, not as stringent as a restaurant business, as you can imagine, and you don't get inspected. And I can assure you, when that health department guy walks through that front door, the first thing you do is get butterflies in your stomach and say, well, what is he going to find wrong with my restaurant today? So it doesn't take much to put that bee on the table, on the door, and boy, I tell you, that'll hurt a restaurant in a heartbeat. All right, well, let's get started here. The first thing I want you to understand is what kills bacteria. And one thing in a restaurant business, if you take, this is a 2-ounce shot glass, you take 2 ounces of bleach in a gallon of water. That's enough to kill bacteria. I know a lot of people, you all don't believe that, but that's a rule, and that's health department regulations. It's actually an ounce of bleach, but I'm going a little bit more. 3 ounces of bleach to a gallon of water will kill the virus, the COVID virus, if it's on anything. So what I do is I don't measure out a gallon and then use it. What I do is I have there's about a 20-ounce spray bottle. I'll put a couple ounces in it and fill it up with water. That's more than I need, but that's enough, and I'm assured we're okay with that. After I get finished prepping for the night, and either after we eat or sometime between, a lot of times I'll prep things ahead of time. When I get finished and everything's ready to go, and it's cleanup time, whether before, after, during, I will spray my cutting boards down, and this is basically the only contact surface I've got in my kitchen. And I will rub it down with my hand to make sure it all gets into cracks and crevices and all that kind of stuff. I'll let it sit for a little while. They say 10 minutes, but I don't know. I spray stuff down so often, I'm sure it's more than 10 minutes, so I don't go with the 10-minute rule, but anyway, I want you to know what the right thing is. Okay, 10 minutes on that. That's basically all I do. Now, sometimes I'll spray my knives down, make sure they're sanitized and stuff like that. Most of the things in your kitchen you don't have to worry about. Your dishes, you probably use a dishwasher. And if you don't, like we do, there's only 2 of us now that the kids are gone. We'll wash it in the sink, and of course we're using soap. So just like they told you, you wash your hands with soap, and you do the same thing with dishes, and you dry them off. Actually, you shouldn't use a towel because you don't know how to clean your towel. Let them dry in what do you call it? Dish rack. Yeah, okay. In a dish rack, and then to store it away. The other thing I want you to know about sanitation is what makes bacteria grow. Now, the way it was explained to me, it says that anything below 45 degrees and anything above 140 degrees, bacteria will not grow. So you start off at 45 degrees, and then gradually as you approach 140, the bacteria begin to grow. When it hits 72 degrees, room temperature, bacteria grows at its highest point, multiplies or whatever. And then as it goes down the other side, it starts lessening and lessening until it gets to 140 degrees, and it does not grow above 140 degrees. So that's just a quick lesson on that. I suggest you get a pocket thermometer, stick it in some food in your refrigerator if it's below 45 degrees. You know you're good to go, and your kitchen, your refrigerator is working fine. Now, when you're prepping food and you're using hot food and stuff like that, I really don't. I mean, it's not going to be enough time for it to grow from the time you plate it and eat it. and clean. I mean, so I don't worry about anything you're cooking. And then they say things like, well, I better not tell you about that. I might get in trouble. But anyway, let's just say that when you're cooking chicken and pork and roast beef and stuff like that in your oven or on your grill and stuff like that, just follow good common sense, okay? I'm not going to go into what you should do or shouldn't do. The other thing I warn you about is in your pantry and your cans and products like that. Make sure that nothing is bulging. If it's bulging, it's bad, throw it away. Don't even open it, don't even worry about it, just toss it. Same thing with any pickle, you know, like you do home canning and stuff like that. I don't know why they call it canning, because it's more jarring, so you don't use can. Anyway, make sure that that button on top is down. It's not popped up. If it's popped up, I know you want to save a jar because they're expensive. Just take the product out, throw it out, and sanitize your jars and stuff like that. So that's about all I got to say about that. One other thing I want to touch base on. This is one of the things that gets us in the restaurant business all the time, and it's just something we can't control. It's going to happen, but if you're a good restaurant manager, you know your restaurant is sanitized. I mean, if you're doing your job and you got an A rating on the door, and the health department inspects you, and you're happy with your restaurant. During the winter time, people will swear up and down they got food poisoning in your restaurant, and they didn't. I've talked to some of my friends, and they'll swear up and down this restaurant they got food poisoning. I said, no, you didn't. You had a 24-hour virus. And it's, oh, hell no, don't tell me what I got. I know what I got. I was throwing up, and I felt terrible. I said, well, 24 hours later, did it go away? Well, yeah, I was over it by then. I said, you were over the virus by then. So anyway, sometimes they get mad at me because I don't believe them. But that's really the problem. I've had food poisoning. I know what food poisoning can do to you. It is rough. My family got sick. I was a teenager. I was around 17 years old, maybe 16, maybe 15, maybe 15. Anyway, who cares? I noticed my sister was still in the house. That's why I said she was 2 years older than me, so she hadn't gone off to college yet. Anyway, we ate dinner, and we ate a pineapple salad. Now, pineapple ring and mayonnaise and sprinkled with cheese on a bed of lettuce. Just a common little salad. 1 hour after we ate, that was the bad product. We found out later. Anyway, 1 hour after we ate, approximately an hour and a half, apparently all of us projectile vomited. I mean, just like a baby. You've had a baby drinking a formula and stuff like that, just comes out. Well, it's pretty embarrassing when it happens, but anyway, I got home and went in the house, and there was a doctor. Daddy had already called a doctor, and the doctor called down to me. The bedroom's upstairs, I was downstairs. He said, Jimbo, you okay? And I said, no, sir. I said, I am sick as a dog. And he said, well, okay, come on up here and go to bed. So anyway, I went to bed, and about 6:30, 7 o'clock, I got up. I didn't feel too bad. Walked downstairs to the kitchen, and I looked over, and my mother was flat on her back, on the floor. And, I tell you, I panicked. She said, Jimbo, and she talked to me. I knew she was okay. So, okay, she's on the floor. That can't be good. So she said, Jimbo, get me a wet towel. So I took one step towards her, and I went down. Now, I didn't pass out all the way, and I said, Mom, I'm sorry, I can't. And anyway, when I was able to get up, I literally crawled back to my bedroom and got in bed, and I didn't wake up till 7 o'clock next morning. That is food poisoning. And the problem was there was a can of pineapple that had a tiny hole in it, and so it didn't bulge, and the gas escaped, and that was the cause of the food poisoning. So it can happen to the best of us. Of course, I didn't know anything about it, and it escaped us. So, you know, be careful with what you're doing out there. Understand this is all you need, just a little spray bottle. Cold food's cold, hot food's hot. That's all you got to know. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. My Facebook page is Jimbo's Kitchen, Know-How, etc. And y'all come back to see me. Hit the like button if you liked it. And I'll be talking to you later, and we'll see you in another video.